The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to log on to the Assurity Critical Illness webinar today. I know, I obviously work in the industry. I know everybody's getting really busy and ramped up for open enrollment, so I'm glad that for those of you who can make it today, you are on. My name is Christy Saul, and I am Vice President of URL's Marketing Division for Specialty Products. These products include disability, critical illness, gap plans, cancer plans, accident plans, hospital indemnity, all the weird things under age 65 you could think of, kidnap, ransom. If you think it doesn't exist, give me a call because we probably have it. I think most of you probably know, about URL, so I'm not going to go into a big dissertation about who we are, what we do, but we have been in the business for close to 30 years. We are a family-owned business, and we do all lines except for property and casualty. And I have our website put up. We have revamped our website, but quickly, if you would scroll down here, it would show all the different lines that we do market: annuities, employee benefits, group health, life, Medicare, etc. So we do everything but P&C. Also over here, it'll give some information about URL. You could click on here, and it will show you, give you faces to the names of the people that you work with. And everybody is muted, but there is an area in the dialog box. If you have questions at the end of the presentation, please feel free to type them in, and we will answer all the questions. Just a few thoughts. Everything is changing so drastically with the landscape of the ACA, and we all know premiums are increasing, shock, right? Along with deductibles and max out-of-pocket expenses. I don't know a whole lot of people or your clients that would be able to write a check for $6,000 or more to cover medical bills. In addition, carriers are decreasing your commissions. Some aren't paying any commissions right now at the moment into the first of the year, so it doesn't really give you an incentive to write their products, and it can be frustrating. Critical illness, I think, is one of the perfect products and fit for the ACA and open enrollment. And, I love, my coworker and partner in crime, Deb Wilkinson, it's time she's starting to pull her hair out with open enrollment, but I love the plans that I market because they can be sold all year round. They complement the plans you're already selling, and you can actually make money off these plans. In addition to protecting your client in the event of a diagnosis or a critical illness, you can also increase your income significantly. And I'm just going to throw some quick stats out there and then hand the presentation over to Andrea from Assurity. But the latest stats is that 62% of all bankruptcies and foreclosures were due to medical bills, and 72% of these people had health insurance. So that's food for thought. Only 2% of bankruptcies and foreclosures are due to death. So, life insurance, my brother Steve heads up that department. There's a need for life insurance, and it's certainly important. But how your client's going to pay for their life insurance, mortgage, health insurance premiums if something catastrophic happens to them. So I'm not going to keep blabbing on. But on the phone with me today is Andrea Blanchard from Assurity. She is the Regional Sales Manager, and she will be our presenter today. So I'm going to put the presentation over to Andrea, and she can take it away.
Well, thank you, Christy, for that great introduction. As Christy said, my name is Andrea Blanchard, and I am the Regional Manager here at Assurity Life Insurance Company. I can tell you that URL is one of the best, especially Christy, and I'm not just saying that because she paid me off the last time we visited her. I'm saying that because I really like her, and she is on top of things when it comes to supporting your agents. I work with many different organizations, and URL is truly as dedicated to your success as you are. They have a great site, many support options for you. They're just a phone call away, and they even give their agents opportunities for recognition. So today what I want to do is dive in, talk a little bit about the current healthcare environment where critical illness fits, and how you can use this product to help you protect your practice and actually grow your business during this challenging time. So first, to start off, I want to give you a little more information about Assurity and our history. Assurity Life Insurance Company is a mutual company that was made up of 3 predecessors whose origins date back to the 1890s. So you can take great comfort in knowing that these longtime companies have successfully weathered many difficult periods in history, recessions, the Great Depression, and even world wars. So we've been around a long time, and throughout these difficult periods, our companies were managed with great discipline and long-term focus. Our focus is on our policyholders being mutual company, and so as a result, we have always honored our promises. Our rating is AM Best, A- Excellent, and has been steady for the past decade. So it continues to hold a positive outlook for the future because of our financial strength. So why is this information important to you? Why is it important to you as an agent? Well, in all of our 125-year history, that's right, we're celebrating 125 years this year. We're really excited about it. During our whole history, we've been focused on the middle income marketplace. So you as agents can leverage your knowledge and experience to help you grow your practice and business. So you might be saying to yourself, well, Andrea, that's great, but what has Assurity learned? Well, one of the biggest things that we've learned is that cost plays a huge factor in the middle income family's purchase. With critical illness insurance, the product we're going to be talking about today, the cost is low. On average, it's going to be about the same as a cup of coffee per day. So depending on how old you are or what your health history is like, you know, a younger individual, it's going to be like a 35-cent cup from your local diner. For an older individual, maybe with some health issues, it's going to be a gourmet cup of coffee. We've also learned that convenience plays a huge role in getting insurance in this demographic. So when you look through our portfolio of products, we have 22 different products in our portfolio, you'll see that simplified, fully underwritten, and non-medical limits have been built into all of our products. And the critical illness product we're going to talk to you about today is simplified, which we'll cover in greater detail later. It just means it's going to be easier of a process for your client and easier for you to sell. But this fits the needs and it is lined with ease of issue with the middle income consumer. So those are the biggest 2 things that we've learned: cost and convenience. So if we take a look at the healthcare environment and we look at it from the agent's perspective, many insurance brokers today will say they're worse off due to the Affordable Care Act. And Christy, when she was introducing me earlier, had mentioned the reason why some of those agents feel that way. Some companies aren't even paying commissions on the products right now. But you want to serve your clients, you want to help the people that you enrolled the previous year. So even though it doesn't make sense to go out and not make any money for the work you're doing or have to wait a long time for that income, you know, you want to do what's right by your clients. But it's hurt their business. 29% of individuals feel their business has been hurt, and 33% are considering getting out of the health insurance business altogether. Now, this particular survey was conducted by McKinsey & Company of more than 1,000 independent brokers during the first open enrollment period from 2013, October of 13 to April of 2014. So it might be even a little bit different now. Now, personally, as a regional manager, I've worked with a lot of different individuals. I've been to a lot of agency offices. What surprises me, though, is that I have met individuals who have exited the healthcare market. They've told me, Andrea, I've been doing this business for a long time. The regulation has just killed it. It's way too much work for the amount of money that I'm receiving. I'm getting out of the healthcare market. And while I have had that conversation with some individual, I've also met agents who have actually thrived and become even more successful despite the current challenges. And you might wonder, well, Andrea, how have they done that? And I assure you, we are going to talk about that today. So some questions I would like you to think about, you as an agent, are, do you think the Affordable Health Care Act created a mess? How do you personally feel about commission reductions? And is there still opportunity for you? So in looking at these questions, you're probably saying yes to question number 1. For question number 2, you may not be happy about it, or you might feel you're doing more work for less money. And for question number 3, many of you might have answered no, or are really questioning yourself, why am I still in this market? Well, I myself would answer yes to question number 3. There's still opportunity out there. And no one would say that the past few years have been easy, but we do still believe here at Assurity that there's tremendous opportunity in the ACA environment with the willingness to adapt. So today I'm going to share my thoughts on why the opportunity is still there and even growing, and where this simplified critical illness product fits. So the opportunity, where CI fits, we're going to talk about a case study, and then what are the next steps? How can you take advantage of this information and ultimately, expand and protect your own business? So this slide might be shocking, but the fact is no one really wants to buy health insurance. What they want to do is solve a financial problem that would arise if you needed medical care. So the purpose of insurance and health insurance is to pay the bills and help reduce financial stress when an illness or an accident occurs. Now here at Assurity, our CI guru, Ken Smith, some of you may have attended some of the presentations he's done in the past, but Ken Smith has a great analogy for this. He always says, last year, millions of quarter-inch drill bits were sold in the United States. Now think about that. Millions of drill bits were sold. How many people really wanted to buy a drill bit? The answer is none. The people who bought the bits had a problem. They needed a hole. And the reason they purchased the drill bit was to solve that problem. They bought the drill bit so they could drill a hole. The same is true with health insurance. So would someone rather work with an agent who sells product or solves their problems? As agents, we really need to change our focus from product and price to solving problems for our prospects and clients. So you're thinking, where's the opportunity? Our idea here at Assurity is to package critical illness insurance with health insurance. And based on our experience, the conversations we've had with our health agents working out in the field, only about half of them are currently doing this. You might also think to yourself, well, why a critical illness plan? The fact is, when somebody faces a critical illness such as a cancer, heart attack, stroke, not only must they cope with the deductibles, those higher deductibles that exist nowadays, and out-of-pocket expenses, they also have to deal with many other costs that are not covered by health insurance. Costs like, medication that's not part of the plan, or travel costs when local treatment options are limited or not available. That happens, especially in rural areas. An individual might even have to retrofit their car or their home, or they just want to have some comforts during their treatment. Maybe they're a single individual and need to have somebody come into their home to help them clean and cook. So there's a lot of other costs that are not covered by health insurance when you have one of these conditions. There might also be loss of income for both the person suffering from the illness and the spouse or the family member who has to take off time work to care for that patient during their treatment. So there is a need out there for critical illness protection. Questions are the most effective way to help prospects see that they have a problem. So if you ask the question, you can show the solution. And I would encourage all of you to try these questions the next time you meet with a client or prospect. The first question is, if your expenses were to exceed the large out-of-pocket costs on your health coverage, what do you think the reason's going to be? Would you be able to cover a $10,000 expense? And if you had to cover that huge bill through your savings account, do you want to? Do you want to use your savings to cover $10,000 or more in a lump sum amount? Or would you rather have an option that could give you access to $15,000 or more in a direct payment to you? All of these questions are designed for specific responses. That first question, what do you think would likely be the reason? The most common response is going to be cancer or heart attack and stroke. They're designed to help people understand the need for protection and the problems it can help solve. So I actually have some questions for you as agents. And my first question is, Do you think your client wants to have control over their health care options? And then for those of you working the healthcare market, would you consider spending an extra 15 to 20 minutes with your client to offer them a product that they need and one that you're going to be fairly compensated for selling? Two easy questions for you. Another question you can ask your client is, what would you like to spend your life savings on? This ties to question number 3 on my personal slide. And the thing I like about this question and concept is that it can be presented on a napkin at a dinner table or in your office on a scratch piece of paper. Now I'm telling you, you don't have to draw the pig unless you're feeling especially artistic, but you could draw a jar or just even make a list of what your client responds with, and then ask them, well, what happens if you have a heart attack, cancer, or stroke? You might not get to choose what you're spending your savings on. You know, talking about insurance, helping people see the need, asking them questions is all part of having that conversation. Here's another way you can have the conversation about this type of protection, another place where it fits. If you imagine this, your client just received news that they have cancer. You know, right now it's October. It's the very end of October. If somebody's diagnosed with cancer in October, their treatments might begin right away. They might begin the following month. Well, what happens if that individual is still undergoing treatment in January? Will their $5,000 or $10,000 deductible be met? You know, they started treatments this year. Are they going to be good with their $5,000 or $10,000 deductible next year? No, it's going to start all over again. And with health plans nowadays, that's more than likely going to be thousands of dollars for them, that $5,000, $10,000 amount that I mentioned. And where's your client going to come up with the cash? A critical illness policy can help ensure that your client has the extra funds to not only pay their maximum out-of-pocket cost for 1 year, but 2 years or 3 years as well. So we want to avoid that dreaded double deductible. You know, another analogy is looking at health insurance like a vehicle, like a car. You can't buy a car without brakes, right? Now, would you rather drive a car that has just brakes or brakes and an airbag? In today's world, everyone has to have major medical insurance. It's required by law now. You know, that's what the ACA did. So major medical insurance is a lot like the brakes on a car. Have to have them. It's there for your protection. And critical illness insurance is going to be like the airbags, there to provide that extra protection in the event of a catastrophic health event such as a heart attack, cancer, or stroke. You know, one of the things a lot of people say is, well, it's not going to happen to me. We have a 4-question CI presentation that we often use. Who do you know? Did they expect it? Was there stress? And would cash have helped? It's a great way to have the conversation. But we have had clients, you know, this is a product we sell. We are an insurance company. We do have clients that actually suffer from these conditions and we pay out claims on. And I think it's interesting to take a look at some of that information, because everybody always says heart attack, cancer, stroke. Well, if you look on this particular slide of actual clients we've helped here at Assurity, you'll see they're all different types of ages, different genders, they have different occupations, and the policy's been enforced over a number of times, some as much as 5 months, others 40. And you'll see the policy amounts. We have both a simplified and a fully underwritten product. The benefits are all the way from $5,000 to $225,000. Now you might be thinking to yourself, you know, $5,000, that's not a whole lot. Why even bother getting a critical illness policy? Well, I'm telling you, if you're in the situation and you end up having a heart attack, you might be in the hospital for a couple days. You might, even if you have disability insurance protection, you might not be out of work long enough, especially if it was a minor heart attack, to be able to claim on disability benefits. So a critical illness policy can really help shore that up. So for that individual who had the heart attack and received that $5,000 check, yeah, that's going to help. Every little bit is going to help. So the solution is to offer a critical illness plan along with other health care options or in line with what their health care insurance is going to be. So it creates a total protection package for them. So once your client, your prospect, has answered the questions you proposed to them, let's give them the solution. And the best way to do that, give them a couple options, one with critical illness and the other without, and let them choose. So here's a hypothetical example based on plan information that was available in 2014 for the 2015 enrollments. So the numbers are probably going to be a little different this year. You know, deductible and out-of-pocket amounts are most likely going to be higher. However, this is meant to give you a good idea of the potential cost savings for your client. With option 2, the client saves $109.83 a month, or $1,300 a year. And as we mentioned before, when someone faces a critical illness such as cancer, heart attack, or stroke, not only are they coping with deductibles, high out-of-pocket expenses, and co-insurance, they're also going to have to deal with many other costs, such as, you know, medication that's not covered by their company or plan, and travel for treatment. Now, when it comes to commissions, percentages currently being paid on health business can vary very widely. But even if we assume that, an agent can typically increase their earnings between 5% and 20%, potentially even more, on each client's case by adding critical illness coverage to the overall health plan. So I want to take a closer look at this and how it can help you, protect your practice and grow your business. So this isn't on the slide. If you want to write it down so you can double check the math later, feel free to. But Assurity's average annual simplified critical illness premium across all age groups is $418. That's about a monthly cost of $36.78. So if you write 10 policies per week, that's 2 policies per day in a 5-day work week. This assumes over the entire year, the annual premium is going to total $217,360. So based on this average, you'd be looking at commissions on the simplified critical illness portion of your business only of over $90,000 a year. So, and this is a plan that you can go back to your existing clients with. It's not limited to the ACA enrollment period. So you can sell this all year and make over $90,000. And there's also potential for renewal commissions. So in just 3 years, you could be making over $125,000 doing the same amount of business each year. And it should only grow over time. After 10 years, assuming the business stays in force, renewals alone would total over $78,000 per year, just on renewals, assuming it stays in force. So that's very, very powerful. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about the product details. If you need information on this, you can feel free to reach out to us here at Assurity. My contact information will be at the end, or to Christy at URL. They're a great team. But the basics of this, the issue ages are 18 to 64. That is 59, I believe, in California and Florida. The maximum issue age is 59. There's $5,000 to $50,000 in benefit available on the simplified product, and it covers 12 conditions, which we'll look at in the next slide. The coverage is guaranteed renewable to age 75. So that means if your client lives to be 76, the coverage is not going to be active at that point anymore. It does cease after age 75. However, there is a return of premium upon death benefit automatically built into this product. Now, if you have clients in Florida, unfortunately, the return of premium is limited to $1,000, but for everybody else, for the most part, you get all of your premiums back if you're to die from another cause while the policy is in force. If you die of a heart attack or a covered condition, we obviously pay out the benefit. But the return of premium on death, let's say you get in a car accident, will return all the premiums you paid minus any benefit that went out. Simplified CI is an accept or reject application. No medical exam is required. Our goal is to issue this policy within 4 business days. So I would highly encourage you to use the e-application. We do run an MIB and a prescription drug check on this product. And there's 5 riders that are available for additional premium. So if you want to make it a no-lose type of scenario, you can add the optional return of premium rider. So if your client lives beyond age 75 and the coverage ceases, we would return the premium even in that instance as well. So if something happens to them when they're alive, they're at least going to get all their premium back or receive benefits, or both. If they live beyond it with that optional return of premium rider, then they get all their premiums back minus any benefits paid. The product is not approved in Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maryland, Virginia, and we don't do any business in New York. So just take note of that. It's available everywhere but those 5 places: Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maryland, Virginia, and New York. The categories, we take a 3-category approach to payout. So the way this works is, let's say you have a $25,000 benefit amount on your plan. If you find out that you have cancer, we're going to say it's invasive cancer, we're going to pay out $25,000 to you. That category is going to close and the policy is going to remain active for categories 2 and 3. Say later on down the road, due to the treatment received during the time period with cancer, client has a heart attack, we're going to pay out another $25,000 of benefit. Category 2 will close out. The policy will stay in force for Category 3. Later on down the road, maybe they're 60, they're in a bad car accident, suffer from major burns, we'll pay out another $25,000 and then the policy will cease. So that one $25,000 benefit amount has the potential to pay out 3 times for a total benefit of $75,000. So that's how it works. It's not one and done coverage. It actually pays out up to 3 times. So why would you pick a surety for the critical illness product? That 3-category approach to benefit payout is substantial. It's a very comprehensive type of way of paying out this type of a benefit. It's not one and done coverage. We'll do the simplified underwriting up to $50,000, so your client doesn't have to have any medicals. And then there's that potential for lifetime renewals. So with the program URL has put together, with their office, you have an amazing opportunity not only to help out your clients with the addition of this ancillary product, but it also helps protect your practice and grow it during this time. And you can go back to your existing clients with this critical illness, all while having the potential to earn lifetime renewals. We also have some promotions. I mentioned that URL has opportunities for agent recognition. So do we here at Assurity. This Ireland trip is going to happen in 2017. That's our Ireland Leaders Conference. Next year, in 2016, we're going to Hawaii. For an individual producing agent, the qualification requirement is $75,000 of weighted annual premium. And for critical illness and disability income, there's double the production credits. So you still have a chance to make it to Hawaii if you want to. Any critical illness insurance you sell, any disability products you sell with Assurity, they're going to be weighted at 200% during November and December for the Hawaii trip. If you're wanting to go to Ireland, you're going to actually have 14 months to qualify. So your November and December production with Assurity is going to count both towards Hawaii and Ireland. And all of next year, for the Ireland trip, the DI and CI products are going to be weighted at 200%. So you have 14 months to qualify for Ireland, and you can get double the bang with those CI products. So before we close out today's presentation and I start answering any questions you might have, you might be wondering, how do I start? If you're not already lined up with URL or you haven't already completed your contracting with them, I highly encourage you to do that today. They're a phenomenal organization. The next thing I want you to do is to use our product to complement your health sales. Start with those sales driven by the ACA open enrollment if that's the market you're working, then go back to your existing clients. Don't forget to use those questions we went over earlier with your clients. You know, one of the nicest things about our critical illness plan, it is guaranteed renewable, so you don't have to re-enroll your clients in this plan each year. Once they have it this year, they're set, they're good to go. So this helps you as an agent, you know, build that great potential renewal base and helps ensure that your clients come back to you for future ACA enrollments, since they'll already have multiple coverages on the books with you. You know, you've helped give them control over their health options. So my contact information is listed here. And Christy, do we have any questions today?
We actually do not have any questions. That means you did a fantastic job. I did quickly want to mention the return of premium is not available in Pennsylvania. So I know we had some out of PA agents, but that's not available. But it is on the disability plan. And also wanted to mention too, I know we went over the simplified issue critical illness, but you know, you guys do offer an underwritten, which would be, you know, a paramed exam, but you do offer up to $500,000 in critical illness, which is, I think, the policy can be enforced for life, correct, or up to age 100.
Yep, the benefits on that do reduce by half after age 65. So with the fully underwritten product, though, you do have lifetime benefits.
Gotcha.
So that's really nice to have a lifetime critical illness product. It is for those higher amounts, and the underwriting on the fully underwritten product is going to be very similar to a preferred life case. So if you've gone through any preferred life underwriting before, those are the types of clients that are the ideal fit for that product.
Okay, we do have one question. Are the premiums level for the term of coverage?
Yes, they are. It's guaranteed renewable. I mean, legally, you know, we could increase them later on, but as far as premiums go in our company's history, even with our disability insurance, we've only had one rate increase ever, and it was on a disability block out of the state of California that we purchased from another company.
Yeah,
and that's on our individual product side. So we have a very strong history when it comes to our premiums.
Well, 125 years and one rate increase on one block of business is pretty good. Yeah, I do know, too, because a lot of, you know, in running your disability plans, we're getting off track of the CI, but, you know, agents ask, well, you know, do they have a non-can rider? I said they do, but, you know, you're going to pay more for the premium, and why when in 125 years they've only raised one block once? So.
Yeah, but no, they are designed to be level for the entire term.
Well, I think that is it. I thank you, Andrea, so much. Great presentation. And again, if you all on the webinar have my contact information and know where to find me if you have any follow-up questions or need the contracting sent to you. And I hope you all have a great day and take care.
Thank you, Christy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.